Every year filming my gift guide is my first taste of the holiday season, if you will. I try to put off the holidays for as long as possible. I don't like to think about them until I've let fall have its moment because I'm so obsessed with fall. But every time I sit down to film my gift guide, I try to get Christmassy, and I just thrifted this vest the other day, and can we see her? Wait, she's cute. This year's gift guide in particular was super highly requested. I feel like maybe the holidays started getting promoted around the internet a little bit earlier this year, so my DMs have been flooded with the request for this gift guide. But as someone who just wants to like hold on to the fall season as long as I can, it will always come out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because my upload schedule is on Wednesday, so here we are. Before I jump into the gifts, I feel like there are so many disclaimers I have to give because the holiday season is so consumeristic, and that's not what this channel is about. That's not what I'm about, so disclaimers are needed. I thoroughly believe in not shopping just to shop, and so therefore thoroughly believe in not buying gifts just to buy gifts. So two things. Number one, my family are hyper consumers. I've said this for years. It's where past Shelbi got her habits from, and they will not buy me a holiday, well, Christmas specifically is what we celebrate. They will not buy me a Christmas gift. And I think the reason I'm getting so many DMs from you guys about this video is because your families are the same way, but let me know in the comments. Not sure. Equally, I've gotten a lot of questions about how to tell your family not to buy you things, and I have no idea because I've told them for years and they just do it anyway. So my other tip is to definitely make a wish list and convince your friends and family and everyone around you to do the same. I think the most sustainable gift is the one that's going to be used. I think just buying things to buy things is not a sustainable habit, even if they're sustainable items, and I think buying people things just to buy it is like completely silly. Like if things aren't going to be used, if they're going to sit around, or worse, if they're going to get donated or landfilled eventually, just not a sustainable habit. So making a wish list, mine is personally on Instagram, like I have its own Instagram profile, but you can also make like a Google Doc, a notes app, whatever it is. Try to let people in your life know things that you would actually get use out of and give that to them if they absolutely refuse not to get you something. And the same sentiment applies when you're purchasing someone a gift. I actually made a whole post on Instagram recently. I'm actually really proud of it. It's super cute. You should go check it out. But basically questions to consider before you purchase a gift for someone. Always think secondhand gifts, experiences, consumables, all of those, which we will get into in today's video. And in addition to today's video, you can go watch my past gift guides, which have great things in them as well. I'll also link below some of my other gift guides, or like just guides that could be helpful, like gifts under $20. I have a whole post about experience gifts, and I have a whole post about kids' toys, charities to donate to. I'll link all of that below for you to check out if you think that would be helpful. And another really important thing to keep in mind for the holiday season and for shopping specifically is to plan, be prepared, so that you're not buying shitty gifts on Amazon and shipping them with one-day shipping last minute, because that's the worst option, right? But I think those are all the thoughts and disclaimers I need to get before we get into some of the brands that I'm very excited to talk about, some of my longtime favorites, some things I've discovered recently that I think you're gonna love. I'll have all of them linked in the description along with any sales or discounts that are going on, and let's hop into it. I want to talk about is one I'm ecstatic to talk to you about, and I've been a big fan of for years, but I really think this is the perfect gift for almost anyone, because everyone needs socks and everyone cares about something. At least I hope. The first brand is Conscious Step. Now this is a sock brand, but not just any sock brand, okay? Not only are the socks made from sustainable materials, not only do the socks have ethical manufacturing, but every pair of socks is a give back. So it gives $1 to a cause that you care about, or whoever you're gifting it to cares about. So different causes that are really important include things like rainforest conservation, fighting against hunger, LGBTQ rights, ocean conservation, and so on. But the cool thing is each of these socks and the cause that they support, the design of the sock coincides with that. If this isn't the perfect holiday gift, I don't know what is. Honestly, I love this brand. But the brand Conscious Step is actually really cool because aside from the give back that comes with every pair of socks purchased, they also are part of 1% for the planet, which is something I always look for when I'm looking to see if a brand is actually sustainable. And aside from that, they use sustainable materials. They are certified, they're sustainable materials, and so we love to see that. And they use ethical manufacturing. So I want you to try to tell me a more perfect gift. I'll wait. I would consider socks to be an essential, and so one of the themes that I was trying to go for with this year's gift guide is purchasing essentials. And really my gift guides vary every year depending on who I need to buy for and what I'm going to buy for them. This year in particular, I have 2 people who are graduating in December and starting their lives for the first time. Like, for the first time, they will be accruing income rather than accruing debt. It's the US, am I right? And I think for a lot of people, not just recent grads, buying things that are essential that they would otherwise have to buy for themselves is a really helpful, thoughtful, and useful gift. That's all I'm always going for. I'm always thinking, what are some gifts that are actually useful? And so essentials are things like socks and also things like soaps. So I wanted to share a brand I've been using for years called Fillgood, and I use them for my dish soap, but they also have things like hand soap, body soaps, all-purpose sprays, all kinds of stuff. But Fillgood actually is a circular business model, and they are zero waste, because what happens is I have a glass bottle that sits on my sink, and then they ship me a refill bottle, not a pouch, it's a bottle. That way it's not just being thrown away, it's actually able to be refilled and reused and sent back and forth. And that's exactly what we want to see from sustainable brands, having a circular system like that and taking responsibility for their packaging. And like I said, I'm always looking for gifts that are actually useful, that will be utilized. And tell me if you bought someone something like a hand soap or a dish soap that they actually needed, that they would be like,
nah, I'm gonna throw this away and go buy some more.
No.
But specifically with the people in my life who are graduating, I think this is my opportunity to show them, like, as you emerge into the world and you now have the purchasing power to choose things that are more sustainable and more ethical, I'm gonna introduce you to this brand that is really, really great. And hopefully now that you have the ability to do so, you'll make better choices like this one. That's my goal anyway. That's my goal. I hope they don't watch this. And this refill program specifically you can subscribe to so that they send it to you on a regular basis. That's what I do with my dish soap, but they also have some refill like stations. So if you want to check, I'll put the link in the description to see if there's one near you where you can actually just go and refill it without the shipping part of it. Like I said, I've been using Fillgood for years. They are a small woman-owned business, but better than that, they are vegan, cruelty-free, palm oil-free, and zero waste, which all of those things combined are nearly impossible to find at any big box stores. So that's why I've been really proud to support them over the years, and I'll leave them linked below if you want to check them out. One of my other favorite essentials brands that I think would be great for gifting is a brand called Plaine. I have a very similar mindset with this, and it being like, hey, now that you're like emerging out into the world, here's a really sustainable brand that you could choose, because Plaine actually has a circular system as well. Their bottles are actually aluminum, and they'll ship you the bottle, you use it, and then send it back. But Plaine actually has more than just body care items, although I use their shampoo exclusively unless I'm filming a video where I'm testing other shampoos. But their shampoo is the only thing that touches my hair. Well, the only product that touches my hair anyway. And it's been that way for years, because I think supporting brands like Plaine are really, really important, because they also have a long rap sheet of certifications showing how sustainable they are, including being a B Corporation, which is a really great third party to verify that brands are actually doing what they say they're doing. They're part of 1% for the planet. They are actually carbon neutral as well. And I've seen the brand listen to their consumers over the year and change accordingly. Like, now they don't only have shampoo, they also have conditioner, body lotion, body wash, all those sort of things. But they've listened to their consumers, and actually people have been asking a lot more for unscented things. So now they have a whole face care line, some of it being unscented. Obviously I'm a big fan of their shampoo, but also a lot of their essentials come in travel sizes. I actually asked specifically for the travel size version of the Plaine body lotion for a stocking stuffer last year, because I have that lotion on me at all times. I have one next to my bed, I have one in my office, I have one in my car, and I have one in my backpack. I need body lotion on me at all times, and a reusable bottle is a wonderful way for me to be able to do that. All of this together to say that I think Plaine is a really great brand for gifting because of all the things they stand for, but because it's also more of a luxurious experience when you get to purchase nicer soaps than like the cheapest one that probably exploited people on the planet to make. You know what I mean? Now, not everyone would consider this an essential until they've had one, okay? A bidet is an essential in this household. I really didn't think the first time I tried a bidet that I was actually going to love it, but I absolutely do, and I hate being without it. But also, I didn't have to gift anyone in my family an actual bidet for them to literally all have one now after I gave them the simple gift of trying mine. I'm not kidding, my sister now has one, my parents now have one, my aunt, both of my cousins, every person who is close to me in my life, after trying my bidet, now has one at their home. And not only is this a great gift to give someone, because I think for a lot of people, at least in the US, I know it's different outside of the US, but here in the US, people are super like,
what? A bidet? Excuse me? No.
But whether they've expressed interest in it or you just think it's something that they would like after they tried it, I think a bidet is a really cool gift to give. It's a little bit more creative. It will become an essential, and it's not something someone would throw out either, because everyone has that curiosity, right? Everyone wants to try one, even if they're afraid of it. And once you, I mean, the saying is true, once you try it, you're not going back. I know you've heard people say that over the internet. You've probably heard me say it too, but it's completely true. You have to try a bidet. So I'm gonna leave one link below for you to check out, and I'll also leave any discount codes down there for you to check out. But bidets, man, we love to see it. Tech is something I've talked about many times on this channel and how incredibly wasteful the manufacturing process of it is, but it's gifted a lot around this time of the year. This is when people add things like AirPods, Apple Watches, phones, those sort of things to their list, and whether they get them or not, because Madison's nephew adds them every single year and he never gets one, but he always is asking. But I know those items get gifted a lot around this time of year, and so I think a really great companion to that, or even if someone already has a phone or an iPad or whatever it is, getting them a sustainable accessory to go with it is a great gift. I've talked about this brand for years, but I absolutely love this brand called Pela. They make different things. So they started out as like making phone cases from compostable materials, which is made from an agriculture waste product actually. But they've actually elevated from just making phone cases. Now they make AirPod cases. They make smartwatch wristbands. They even have iPad cases now, which is crazy because when I needed one for my iPad, they didn't have that. They have phone cases for different phone brands as well. And so I think it's a really great gift to give, to also get someone something that is useful, but is also sustainable. I got a lot of questions about that. Gifts for people who don't give a shit, but it would be something that they like anyway and it is sustainable. So basically like you have to buy someone something and they're not the most sustainable person, but you don't feel good about buying something that is like exploiting people and the planet. I think Pela is a really perfect gift for someone like that. Especially now since Pela has so many different designs and colors and textures and even things about their phone cases. Like they have ones that have card holder slots now. They also have the grippy, which I was just sitting on my phone. But the grippy is like Pela's version of a pop socket, and I swear by this thing. If it breaks, I will be very, very sad, but not the most sad because it's compostable, which is amazing. And Pela is also a B certified corporation. They're a partner of mine. I've worked with them for a long, long time. I've had a standing discount code with them for a very long time, and it's a brand, it's probably like one of the first brands that I really like stood behind their mission when I came to sustainable living. And to see how they've grown over the years has just been amazing. So I highly recommend Pela if you're looking for a gift for nearly anyone in your life, honestly. This is going to be a gift for the vegan curious person in your life. This is for my cousin specifically. I really hope none of them watch this. I should have said that at the beginning. Don't watch this if you're expecting a gift from me this year. But about a month ago, my cousin called me frantically, telling me that she had tried the Impossible Whopper and it tasted just like a burger. Imagine that. But specifically, this cousin has now shown an interest, right, in being interested in being plant-based, which is a very sustainable thing to do for the planet. And so if I can hold on to that interest and pique it just a little bit, maybe we can get them to eat more plant-based, which I'm here for it. That's what I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? So this is a plant-based version of milk, right? Obviously, getting people away from milk, gonna be much better for people, the planet, and the animals, and yeah, yourself. People, like I said. I think you pronounce this brand as Joy, but they make concentrates of plant milks. And they also have one for plant creamer, which I'm gonna tell you about it in just a second because changed my life. But I've talked on this channel a lot about why concentrates are a more sustainable option, because really what's happening in a lot of products that we buy is they're like more than 50% water. And so basically what we're doing is we're wasting all the packaging and all the emissions from the shipping just to ship water all around the place when we have a lot of times water at our home. And the reason I specifically think this would make a great gift is because their creamer base changed the cooking game for me, y'all. I've been making so many creamy pasta dishes recently on the vlog channel, on my Instagram, and so many people ask me how I'm making a good cream-based pasta sauce. And it's this. This is a secret, and I really think that if I gift this to the person who's interested in a more plant-based lifestyle, they're going to be convinced that they can make more changes. But Shelby, you could gift anyone any plant-based milk. Why are you choosing this one? Well, like I already said, concentrates are much more sustainable. On top of the fact that a concentrate is a lot more convenient than trying to make it yourself, because if we're trying to convince people to come over to this side, the last thing we want to do is say, you can no longer walk into the store and buy milk, you have to start making your own milk. Not the best option. One of these jars can make at least, I think the number is 4 times the amount of Tetra Pak cartons, which is already reducing the amount of packaging there. But obviously in a lot of places, Tetra Pak cartons are not even recyclable. Obviously the packaging in and of itself is a lot less and recyclable over here, whereas it's not over here. On top of that, these glass jars are reusable, completely recyclable, which we love to see. And if you try their oat milk powder, this package is compostable. And this might sound like a really minimal thing, but plant-based milks often need gums and fillers to like bulk up the milk and keep it together, or else the water would completely separate from like the plants in the milk. But when you do concentrates, you just don't need any of that. And so those ingredients are not having to be like created and shipped and used and all that sort of stuff, which is like minimal. But here's the big part of that. Plant-based milks that have to be refrigerated have to be in a refrigerated truck all the way from where they're manufactured to where you buy them, and have to be refrigerated in said store, which obviously takes emissions to refrigerate all of those things. And it's not a small feat, because I remember reading about how many emissions come from refrigerating roses and the shipping of those. But if you move to a shelf-stable concentrate, all of that is then removed. So I think I've made my case as to why this is a more sustainable option, and why I think it would make a great gift for anyone in your life who is either plant-based already, because they likely haven't tried this, maybe to add to your wish list, or anyone in your family who is vegan curious. So I do want to focus on experience gifts a lot this year, but the problem is, for some reason, my family doesn't think buying like gift cards or tickets really constitutes as a gift. They want to see me unwrap something. So I'll talk about some experiences that I personally think would make great gifts in a second, but specifically for this brand, I wanted to talk about their different offsets for experiences. So Tentree is a brand that I've talked about for a long time, and I continue to talk about them over time because so many brands have tried to call themselves sustainable simply for planting trees, and I think that's really fucked up, I guess is how I want to say it. A lot of other brands don't maintain the trees. They don't show proof that they even planted trees. A lot of brands are planting invasive species in places that they shouldn't be. There's all kind of different issues with tree planting schemes. And the reason I always talk about Tentree is because they don't have all of those issues. They actually have a whole page on their website detailing exactly where they plant the trees, what type of trees they plant, what kind of maintenance they do afterwards. Tentree is the real deal. And as their name may tell you, they plant 10 trees for every item sold. And the clothing they sell is wonderful, and I'll talk about it in just a second, but something I think is really interesting they're doing right now is they actually are selling different sort of offsets, and they have research to show how many emissions come from each of these different experiences. And I think gifting the experience coupled with these offsets is a really cute little gift to give. So an example of some of the things that they have to offer to offset that I think are personally fun. One of the things is long showers. So if you know someone who takes long showers and you tease them about it, this is a great gift just to add to their gift. Or if someone has an avocado obsession, because we know those have a pretty significant carbon footprint, you can offset that for them, maybe along with a gift of a couple avocados. And they even have offsets for your Christmas tree. So even if you don't purchase any of the offsets, I think it's really fun to go check that out. I'll leave it linked below and see the research behind all of these things. And what I'm always talking about, how everything we buy and do has a resource footprint. It's cool to go read about how the nitty-gritty each little thing really is, and then maybe you'll find an offset that you're interested in. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. I also really like Tentree because they have different clothes that are not so gender specific or gender presenting specific, not just feminine, basically. Most sustainable brands focus on feminine type clothing, and I sometimes, I guess, wear feminine clothes. I mean, is a vest feminine? I don't know. But definitely, if you know my wife, Madison, she's not. And so when I'm trying to buy gifts for someone like her, I need a brand that's not just selling skirts and things that she would never wear. I've purchased quite a few things from Tentree over the year that I still use all the time, like my beanie with the little peace sign. I have a mask that from their collaboration that they did with the Lorax, which is so cute. I've got a couple sweatshirts that I wear very often once it gets cold enough to do so, whenever that happens. But they also use sustainable materials, they also use recycled materials, and they also use ethical manufacturing. So if you are looking specifically to give someone something like an accessory or clothes this year, I always think Tentree is a good place to turn. All right, now for consumables and experiences. I'm very excited about this. First of all, my go-to with anyone, if I don't know what to get them, is always a plant. This year is going to be some type of garden. So I have like a big one in my kitchen. I'm looking at it right now. It's tall, it's not cheap. It's not something you would just like casually gift someone, but they have smaller ones for your countertop, which I think would make a great gift. And specifically, when I asked my sister to help me come up with some ideas that would fit for most people, she said seeds. What? I don't know why she said seeds, but for some reason that felt like a good thing to gift people, because actually when Madison and I got married, a couple of her friends gifted us seeds and then we use them in our garden. But if someone in your life is interested in those things, plants, gardens, and seeds, good choices. Something else I've gifted a lot in the past, and so many people ask me for like gift exchanges, good gifts for things like that. And I think a set of stasher bags paired with any type of consumable is a perfect gift for a Secret Santa or like one of those white elephant gift exchanges, because everyone can use reusable bags. I don't know if it's a common thing to hate single-use like little Ziploc plastic bags, but I think if you can switch out for a reusable version, most people will do so. And then you can make something, or if you want to, you can buy something that's like a consumable. And I actually made like a whole list in my head of things that you could gift with a stasher bag or in a stasher bag. So you can make chocolate, you can make nuts, all those little snacks that are always at Christmas parties. You can make bath salts, you can make a potpourri, you can make all kinds of things and put it in a stasher bag, and I think that makes a great gift for almost anyone. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that's a good one. And also, if you're trying to make it a bigger gift, putting all ingredients for a charcuterie board in little stasher bags, I love this idea. Or just reuse jars that you have, but like I love a charcuterie board. Depending on if you know this person has this or not, like one of those little wooden cutting boards, and then you can kind of like include things to make the charcuterie board. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I would love that as a gift. I also have this other gift idea that includes like an experience and a thing, depending on how you want to do it. So these experiences, I'm just going to say, check out Airbnb experiences in your local area. When we recently traveled up to the Northeast, we did so many cool Airbnb experiences where just a local is trying to like make a side hustle. You pay them like a very reasonable rate usually, and they'll teach you how to do something. I've been to a course to learn how to make maple syrup. I've been to a course to learn how to glass blow. And that's actually where I got this idea from, because the glass blowing I did is really not my style, but it is my cousin's style. So I got to do an experience and then I got something out of it that I could gift to someone. But I think doing that more consciously and seeing what something is around you that you could go and experience and learn how to do something with someone you need to gift in mind and then make something for them is so meaningful. So you're supporting someone local artisan, you're physically making something, which usually makes gifts mean a lot more to someone, and then you're actually getting something that you know was ethically made and giving it to someone as a gift. Also, I feel like everyone likes at least one of these 4 things, and that is coffee, tea, beer, and wine. Whichever one of those that the person you're buying a gift for likes, get them a nice version of that, and maybe sometimes couple it with something nice that's reusable that could fit into their routine, right? If it's not something as simple as like a coffee mug, like maybe they already have one, or a reusable wine cork so that they can put back on their wines. I always think that's a good coupling gift. If they like coffee, reusable coffee filters, tea strainers so they don't have to buy them in bags anymore. All those sort of things I think make a good little like easy gift for almost anyone. As does a nice candle from a sustainable brand. I think I have a blog post with sustainable candles. I'll leave it linked below. Choosing from one of those, something that someone would actually like if you know the person and you know what kind of scents they like, getting them a nice candle is always an easy gift that they will actually use. If your family's okay with it, also getting them gift cards and requesting gift cards is a great way to make sure that you're buying something that someone will use. If you can buy it online and not get a physical plastic card, even better because a lot of times you can put it in your phone, in the wallet app on your phone, or you can just show an email when you're checking out. And I also think books and audiobooks make great gifts for most people, depending on if they like to read. Because if you buy me a book, I don't know if I'm gonna read it, but if you give me a credit to my audiobook, then I'd probably listen to it. And I actually found this cookbook called Sustainable Kitchen, which I think would make a great gift for anyone who is interested in sustainability and cooking, which I think a lot of people are, but also you might be. So maybe that's something to add to your wish list. But like I said, I have a sustainable blog post for nearly any category you can think of, jewelry, socks, all that kind of stuff. I'll leave those all linked below. Hopefully they help you. Let me know if I missed anything and follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I'll be talking about more ways to do gifts and more creative ways as we get more into the holiday season, because I will give up fall now. We will go into the holiday season. Make sure you're following me over there. All the links to everything I talked about are going to be below. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.